Welcome to We the World in our 2025 MLK Manifesting the Dream event. Each year, we take time to remember Martin Luther King Jr. and his beloved community. And each year, we are thrilled to feature the many people and organizations who have taken action to be of service, not only in January and February, but all year round. We at We the World welcome you to take action and be of service at we.net/MLK from January 15th to February 28th. Please join us in being a part of this annual celebration and consider being of service in your communities and with us. Of course, donations are very appreciated at we.net/donate. My name is Yana Larson, and I am the HR Deputy Director of We the World. Today, our moderator is Thato. Thato Angelina Gabaitse is a Gaborone, Botswana-based entrepreneur and philanthropist. As founder and director of Lemon and Vinegar Ltd, she specializes in the distribution of agricultural produce, machinery, and equipment. With 6 years of experience in livestock and rain bed crop management, Thato is a qualified horticulture enterprise manager, providing consulting and advisory services. She is passionate about building partnerships and engaging stakeholders to develop impactful programs addressing social constructs like age, gender, and race. Thato excels at team building and program construction tailored to specific event and thematic needs. She is also a longtime We the World volunteer and mother and valued member of our team, and we love her. I pass the talking stick to you, Thato.
Thank you so much, Yana, for the lovely introduction and a warm welcome to our audience. On today's session, we'll be talking about climate resilience and grassroots innovation, where policy solutions for localized climate action with a global impact. This session will address scalable grassroots practices and community-driven climate action that has a global impact. And on today's session, we have Kennedy, who I will pass the floor on to introduce himself and the work that he's doing in Kenya.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to be part of this great movement. I actually admire the life of Martin Luther King Jr. and how he fought for humanity and the aspirations that he believed upon. We are working with women and grassroots communities and grassroots organizations that works to build the capacity of the local communities on environmental response in regard to climate change. We have looked into key crops, some of them which used to be traditional crops that are able to overcome global climate changes and are able to address hunger and malnutrition in African villages. So my organization that have done a lot of consultancy with the Commonwealth of Learning, an intergovernmental based organization based in Vancouver, Canada, that are training about 5,000 farmers, smallholder farmers, on introduction of wax beans as a means of addressing the climate change, because we realize that wax beans uses less water and it takes about 60 days to be ready. So we have worked with 5,000 farmers to implement wax bean initiatives that aims at building the capacity of farmers to produce wax beans and sell. Then we have also introduced fast maturing and low input cassava. We learned that cassava does so well in addressing climate issues, so that it uses less water and it has got good output, on-farm output for the farmers, and also serves to enhance the income of the farmers and build their capacity on this. So there are several grassroots initiatives which are actually grassroots initiatives on climate change, which are community-led and community-driven, focus on addressing environmental issues at a local level. Often such projects involves community gardens, cleanup campaigns, educational programs in schools, renewable energy projects, and sustainable farming practices, which empowers individuals to take ownership of their local environment and contribute to mitigating climate change through localized action. One thing that is key is that we have learned that environmental programs aimed at addressing climate change works best when women are brought in the center of every decision making, because we find that women bears the brunt of climate change. So over the last 20 years, we have worked with women, we have worked with young people, and we have also built the capacity of young people, of youths and women to be champions on implementing sustainable farming practices and low external input agricultural practices that serves to enhance household income and food security. Thank you so much for the platform, and I believe that WeNet, we has got the platform that can change the world if local success stories are brought in the platform and are used as a means of inspiring and also training others. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for sharing more about your project and the work that you're doing in Kenya. I think it really resonates on the lasting impact in community, utilizing local knowledge and indigenous practices, because it's one thing to be bringing practices that are foreign and having to deal with the capacity building issues, as well as adapting or localizing that foreign concept into the community. One thing now that I can ask you in terms of support from government, how can policies be designed to integrate these solutions into national and global frameworks, as opposed to what we're seeing nowadays with GMO seeds being brought in?
Yes, in Kenya, we have devolved systems of governance, and we have 48 governments, whereby we have 46 governments which are county-based. And in the county-based, they have assemblies, whereby policies are being made at the assemblies by the member of county assemblies. So you find that member of county assemblies comes at the ward, and the ward is at the community level. So it's structured in a manner that they get the input of the local community members and are able to develop policies that are county specific or community specific in that aspect. But a lot needs to be done, and such platforms as WeNet could really help, because there is a lot of training that needs to be done, and the leaders that people are electing should be leaders who understands that the climate change are real issues and they need to be responded to. So we need to move from the political rhetorics to actual community-led actions which are focused on addressing environmental issues at the local level, because we find that the poor and the rural communities bears the brunt of the global change. They are the ones who are heavily affected by the climate change. And the policies that their leaders make in one way or the other often impact positively or negatively in their lives. And this serves to hinder the growth of many initiatives which are aimed at building the community capacity and enhancing livelihoods, and also into creating alternative livelihood support options for the grassroots communities. So policymaking is key in this, and civil society organizations like the WeNet could really help in championing for the rights of the grassroots communities, the rural communities who bears the brunt of the climate change. Yes.
Thank you very much. It sounds like you're doing very well. I know many grassroots initiatives struggle due to a lack of funding, technical experience, or political support. But it seems you understand your environment really. How are you building in that political support and bridging in that technical experience? How are you engaging with the policymakers?
There are political challenges. There are political challenges, of course, but we are more or less developing social enterprises, and there are so many social enterprises which are coming up. So social enterprises are actually the best way of addressing this because they are neither profit oriented, whereby the political leadership will take in some money, like this is our share, this is our share. Like if you take the case of the cigarettes making companies, you find that the political class has got high stake in those because they take lots of bribes from such farms, such companies dealing, making cigarettes and all this. But building social enterprise, we have people like, for instance, in the community that I come from, we have a lake, Lake Victoria, the second largest water lake in the world. And there are several boats which capsize in the lake due to weather challenges and all this. So we have a company that originated from the Netherlands. Investors came and they built what they call water bus. So water bus, one of them uses solar and is safe in the lake and goes very fast in the lake. So that one has addressed the normal accidents which used to occur in the lake, and now can really connect all the beaches, all the fish landing beaches in the lake, and can also spur the trade and growth in such remote areas. So that is a social enterprise in itself, and it has got less political interference because it's a social enterprise and help the community and is at the heart of the community. And it's also environmentally friendly in the sense that they uses solar or they uses less fossil fuel to drive them. So such are some of the examples that we have seen which are success stories indeed, and which are community generic and community focused and are community based and with less political interference compared to others. So I believe that when the local community capacity is built and people stands to understand who they are and what they stand for, and through the civil society organizations, people are able to overcome the political class and build themselves. And also recently in Kenya, young people, they were calling themselves Gen Zs, Gen Zs. They really arose and went into the streets. They were demanding their rights. They were demanding several things that they wanted the executive, the presidency to listen to. And of course, the president listened to them and had to dissolve the entire cabinet and reconstitute the new cabinet and make several changes based on what the youths, the young people were demanding upon. So it's possible that the movement like what Martin Luther King Jr. championed for and agitated, the changes they agitated for, the social actions, the social movements that they made are coming to take course in Africa and are coming to take course in the third world and in the developing nations. So we are happy, we are seeing the spirit of Martin Luther King Jr. Jr. living on up to this date, so many decades after his death. So it's possible for the local people, for the common people to arise and have a voice through technology, through social media, through platforms such as the WeNet, so that they are able to demand for their rights and they are able to champion causes that which they believe upon and are able to address the social and the economic issues affecting the community.
Wow, that sounds quite exciting, and I believe that some of the African countries can really stand to come and benchmark to in Kenya. I believe that from the audience as well, they will be inspired to reach out to learn more. What I want to ask now is how can the work that you're doing, the amazing work that you're doing, be highlighted on such platforms as the UNFCCC COP processes, where you will be able to meet with the relevant stakeholders, financiers, investors, and people who can help you scale such projects, not only in Kenya or your community, to other communities, such as I have friends in Kisumu. It can reach up to there. It can then spread regionally and across the continent. How can we, as the organization as well, highlight the wonderful work that you're doing?
Great. I think having space in the WeNet platform could be one of the steps forward on this, because based on the stakeholders and the partners of WeNet, we are able to highlight and we are able to disseminate the success stories that we have had and what we believe upon that supports the spirit of the WeNet and the spirit of the MLK Junior, MLK. Yes. So having a space in the platform of the WeNet is one way forward. Another one is through conferences and also meeting like this that we have today are able to document what we have done and also able to share, because there are so many things which have taken place positively and the communities are arising and are addressing the problems they are having. So they need to be highlighted. Exactly.
Thank you very much. As we are wrapping up, what is one key takeaway that you hope the audience leaves with today, whether they are policymakers, activists, or community members?
Yes, I would say we have the power. When I say we, would mean the grassroots people, the grassroots communities have got the power to change the narratives and make a new life for themselves. Like in countries like Uganda, you find that farmers, having been trained, are coming up and they are starting their own banks so that they can loan among themselves. They are turning what used to be table banking into mainstream banks, like just commercial banks for the farmers in the specific regions to address their financial challenges. So we are rising, the grassroots communities are rising, and the grassroots communities are finding that it is their obligation and their responsibility to address, to change their thought patterns and improve their own livelihood, because nobody can do it for you. It's you to arise and do it.
That is a mouthful, and I believe we will draw inspiration from this. I myself am inspired and will share with my communities such tremendous work that you're doing, and hope to see the initiatives that you're carrying out being scaled on a global platform. Thank you so much for your time. I will be giving back the floor to Yana, who will be doing the closing for us.
Yes, thank you, Thato and Kennedy. Thank you so much for being here. I know it's a challenge with technology and such, and so we really appreciate the effort that you made to connect with us today. It's very appreciated. And thank you to Birgit Ben-Eli, who is our events director and my tech assistant for today. Thank you to our audience for joining our broadcast today. And remember, please join us and take action to be of service at we.net/MLK. And donations are gratefully appreciated at we.net/donate. Goodbye from all of us at We the World.
Thank you so much.